Today's social media segment is brought to you by Parabon General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrible General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
All right, welcome back. It's time for a little sports here, and we have Coach Mike Silva from Nicholls State University, of course. He's their very successful baseball coach. You're doing a great job over there at Nicholls State. And, Coach, always good to see you. How are you?
I'm great, man. I appreciate you having me. It's great to see you as well.
Anytime. And I know we didn't get a chance to talk a lot the other night because y'all had a lot of festivities, and I was very impressed at the amount of people that came back to see Coach Frank Monaco, who played on that 1970 World Series appearance team. But not only that, of the talk of Nicholls State baseball, they are truly impressed, Coach. I know that has to make you feel good.
Yeah, it's. I think that's one of the greatest opportunities, I guess, you get when you do this for a living is, you get to elevate the university that you're working for, and you get to make your community proud, and I think we're doing that right now, and we need to continue to. We still feel like we've left some games out there that we probably should have won, but it's a learning and growing experience, and obviously from year one to today and where the program's at, yeah, we're really proud of that.
I know as a coach you think that way. Y'all very well could be 19-0 at this stage of the game, but 16-3 is not bad as you prepare for the March 22nd date. But what have you learned about your team up to this point? We know coaches like to really gauge in on this early part of the season and try to find out which guys can play under the lights, which guys can handle the pressure. What have you learned?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how old you get or how much experience you have. Each day in this game is challenging, and there's going to be failure, and just showing up and just being consistent with the way we approach the game. I think we've done a really good job with that. I think at times for us, our bullpen is a little bit inexperienced. We've moved some guys from the starting rotation in the past to our bullpen, and then they're trying to do a little bit too much in leverage moments. And everybody glorifies starters in this game, but really it's the guys that take the ball from, after the fifth inning on that really determine whether you win a lot of games or not. And we had some really experienced guys down there a year ago, and we have a couple of them back, but we have some new guys too that we're trying to get, to kind of get a little bit of a different edge, and they're taking on different roles than maybe they played in junior college or in high school. And so that's a challenge.
Baseball, no different than any other sport. The little things at the end make the biggest deal. And as a coach, how do you get them prepared to that one mistake could be the difference between a win or a loss? How do you keep them mentally on that note?
Well, I just think that's the biggest adjustment for guys when they get to this level is just the room for error, the difference between winning and losing. It's one play here, it's one pitch there. And, staying in the moment and just trusting yourself and executing. You have to go through it though, right? I mean, you can practice all you want. The fall is great and early spring's great. But each game, like you said a minute ago, gives you information. And just getting our guys to understand how difficult it is to win games at this level. It's hard to win a game. It's harder to win a series. It's even harder to sweep somebody. And so, as we progress through the season, you want to see just more consistency, and you want our guys to be comfortable playing in tight games and in big moments and really trust themselves. And we're still developing and learning that.
I can still hear Coach Gano at Vanderbilt hollering to us, we were going through situation all the time. And when you get in the game, it's almost like, all right, guy on first, guy on third, one out, where am I going with the ball? But sometimes that can get lost in the moment but it's the focus factor. You got to stay focused all the time, don't you?
Yeah, and I think that's what makes baseball the hardest sport to play, to be honest with you. And I think a lot of people haven't played at a high level, don't understand. I mean, these guys have to stay engaged and reset really for sometimes north of 200 pitches a game. And that's one of the things they have to learn, I think, just because, the longer you're in this, and now there's expectations for our program, and that's what you want. And we're getting everybody's best shot. We're not sneaking up on anybody anymore. And so just understand the significance of, we talk about count pitch situation a lot, where you're going with the ball, who's coming up, what type of runner it is. There's a lot of information out there, and it can be suffocating at times. But ultimately, if you're prepared, the game will go a little bit slower for you, and you'll execute in those moments. And we feel like a couple of the games that we haven't won have gotten away from us just simply because we didn't execute. And those are self-inflicted mistakes, and they're definitely correctable, and we think we're going to get those corrected.
You took the next question right out of my mouth. You're not sneaking up on anyone, but you still have a 16-3 record. And the most impressed the fans were the other night, and some of the coaches who were watching, were that it feels big time at Nicholls now. Nothing against past teams or whatever. Some of those teams were big time, but the feeling is big time. And that's nothing that just happens. You've really worked at that, haven't you?
Yeah, I think, look, you stand at a podium, right? And you tell people your vision, you tell people what you're going to do. But there's been a lot of men that have come through here that have probably said a lot of the same things. But to go out and actually do it, you have to be relentless. And I tell our guys all the time, you got to earn it every day. You got to earn it in the community. You got to earn it in your preparation. You got to earn it in your response. And then, you continue to have success. And look, people are proud. Alumni are proud. And yeah, that means a lot. Big time's where your feet are. I think so many times here, and I do take it a little bit as a slider, as an insult. Sometimes people are like, man, you're going to really build yourself up and do such a great job, and you end up somewhere big time or whatever. And I think that's such a short-sighted way. Big times here at Nicholls right now, big times in Thibodaux, Louisiana, and we want to continue to grow the brand here and build this into what I really think it can be. We need to continue to upgrade our facilities. That's something we have to do. But our fan base is showing up. I mean, a couple Sundays ago, we had 1,000 people on a Sunday, and I pay attention to everything. I pay attention to how many beers they're selling at the concession stand, how many daiquiris, and how much food, because I think that represents the growth. Because I remember what it was like 3 years ago when I got here, when you would look up in the stands and you'd see 20 moms and dads, and that's about it. And some of the guys in the coaches committee, and even that's growing. And that's a tribute to our players and our staff and all of our supporters that show up and keep this thing going. So we feel like we have it going in the right direction. But the second you come up for air and think you've arrived, like, it goes away. And so you have to go out and earn it every day. And we're going to continue to do that and continue to try to grow this brand.
All right, let's stay tuned. We're going to go one more segment with the coach, let him name some of the players. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
All right, we're back with Coach Mike Silva, doing a great job at Nicholls State University and making a lot of players believe. We saw that last year, and it's continuing this year. Coach joins us again. And, Coach, what are some of the, as I was looking out on the field the other day, and I saw the youth out there, and it just reminded me of how old I'm getting, but there's still a process of when they come from high school to college that they're getting used to and accustomed to that type of leap. But that's why you rely on some of the upperclassmen. But I'm sure there's some freshmen who walk on and they're ready to go. They seem like it doesn't bother them at all. How do you like your team right now?
Yeah, I like our team. I trust these guys, and I like our work ethic. I love our older leadership. I think that's significant for us. And look, I've been pushing them really hard. I think that, you look at teams that think they've arrived or think they've earned something and they let their guard down. And I told them, like, this is going to be the hardest year probably for our program coming off of last season and continue to build. I like our guys. We're old. We have Alvarez at first base and, Kendrick and Ordonez at second. You got Parker Gadu at shortstop, and we have a couple different options in Cade Crosby and Drake Anderson at third base. And then we have some guys in the outfield too. Basil Williams has been a role player for us the last 2 years. He's starting having a really good year. And Narvin Booker Jr. is an older kid. He's a junior transfer from Mississippi Valley, and he's playing at a high level. And then obviously, the old guard is Garrett Felix in left field, and just continuing to put up numbers and produce like he has the first 2 years here. And so I like it. And then obviously on the mound we have Jacob, but Jacob's coming off an outstanding freshman year, and he's getting everybody's best shot, and he's gonna have to continue to grow and get better, which he's doing. And then on the mound you have guys like Nico Saltaformaggio and Devin DeSandro and Michael Covedo, and then newcomers like Jack Nelson and Michael Guerrero and so on and so forth that, they're really talented players, and they're still some of them are taking on new roles and finding their ways. But I feel confident that we're playing well, but I don't think we've played close to our best baseball yet. And so that's exciting from a coaching perspective.
And that's a great comment. Let me ask you this, because I know even on the high school level, our coaches relied on the upperclassmen to know when you can cut up a little bit in the dugout, to know when you really got to lock it down and get serious. As a coach, when do you learn how to, okay, maybe I've been a little too hard on them, let me just let them have a little fun, or, all right, too much fun, let's get focused again? Is that a feel you go through, or is that something that you've become pretty calculated at doing?
Yeah, I think both. Look, you can't wear them out all the time. I always say I get about 3 times a year where I can really get after them, as a group. But there's a standard here, and I think the guys know we're not lowering the standard. They're going to meet the standard, or to be quite frank, they probably won't be in the program very long. We want our guys to do things right on and off the field and represent our community, our university the right way. And, yeah, you have some feel, you pay attention to them. I know these guys a lot, and they know the older guys know kind of what makes me tick or makes our coaching staff tick, and things that how to lock it in and when to have fun. But I want them to always have fun. This game's so stressful, and there is pressure involved. And I want them to have fun all the time and really appreciate and understand what they're doing and what we're on the road and trying to accomplish. But at the same time, I mean, there is a business side of this. You got to show up and you got to produce. And I think this is the first time really in a lot of these young people's lives that for the first time in their life, they're going to be judged based on their productivity, like the rest of us are as adults. You're judged on your productivity and the way you go about it every day. And so just the consistency and preparation, how we respond. I'm a big on a respond thing. I want consistent attitude. I want consistent emotions, and I want consistency in the way we respond, not just to positive things, but to negative things as well. And I think if you do that, you don't really ride the wave of the season. There's going to be ups and downs, and unfortunately, there's going to be nights we don't play very well. It happens. But if we respond the right way, there's not going to be very many of those nights.
Yeah, they sort of call that life, but it's life on the baseball field, isn't it?
That's 100%, and we tell guys in our locker room all the time, this game's coming for you. It's a really hard game. And life is too. And how you handle the adversity or the success and how you respond to it is really going to determine the next moment or the next outcome that we're looking to get is all going to be how you responded to whatever happened. And we can't control sometimes what happens. We can control how we respond to it, and we can control what we do moving forward. And it's really what we try to focus on. I'm a big growth guy. I'm not a prisoner of the scoreboard. Contrary to popular belief, I mean, I'll wear our guys out if we run rule somebody and I don't think we went the right way about it. And there's times where we lose a close game and I thought we played well, and it's just baseball, and that's life sometimes.
Now the preparation starts, the conference play and all the focus you're getting to. And I know it's a little ways away and you're on a 5-game win streak, but it's hard not to look ahead a little bit and go, okay, we got to gear up for conference play, even though you got a few games before or whatever. So, but it starts getting really real at this point, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, there's no secret. Conference is just different, and there's a lot at stake. But we got a tough stretch. We go to Nebraska. We leave on Wednesday. We play there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they're a really good team. And they've beaten some really good teams at home and on the road. And it's going to be cold, and it's going to be challenging for us. And I think that type of adversity is good for our team. And I'm looking to see how we respond. I'm not really I mean, yeah, I want to go win the series for sure, and I think that we can if we play well. But they're a good team. I want to see how we respond, how we handle some adversity, and I think these next, Nebraska for 3, and then home against Louisiana Tech on the Wednesday when we get back is going to help prepare us for conference. But Tech's a really good team too. They're like 13-3 right now, and they're feeling really good about their team, and so we're excited about those opportunities. And then we open up conference at home. I think we have New Orleans to open up at home, and we know how good they are. We had to beat them to win the regular season last year, and then we had to beat them in the tournament championship. And if you don't think we're going to get their very best, and they're probably tired of seeing us succeed against them.
Coach, we appreciate you taking the time with us. We know you have a lot of work to do. Good luck. We look forward to covering you in that conference play, and thank you so much, and keep those Colonels moving.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the coverage and all the support. Go Colonels. Thank you very much.
All right, Coach Mike Silva. We appreciate him, and he's doing a great job at Nicholls State University. We're very lucky to have him. We'll take a break. We have a lot more right here on Bayou Time. Don't go away. Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems, modern technology, and timeless caring. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bourke, know your rights. South Louisiana Bank, it's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. Alford and Associates, for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.